All right, everybody, welcome back to Stinker, Drinker, Thinker. We're three guys. We pour some pours, we make some cocktails, and we rank them in an absolutely ridiculous ranking system that we've developed, which truthfully is the God's honest truth. We just tell you if things think, stink, or drink. I am Anthony Longano. I am joined by my two beautiful co-hosts, Troy the Body of Gladi. Troy, say hello.
Hello.
My good friend, Matt McKibble.
Hi.
And then we are joined by our the most prestigious guest we've ever had, and we said we weren't going to say that on air, but I just did. Our good friend, you've heard about him before, the gentleman
Raconteur.
Adam, and we learned how to pronounce his last name, Adam van der Swaagh. Adam, say hello, everybody.
Exactly. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, you too, man. Welcome.
Adam is joining us on his computer, but we're hoping that Adam can actually get out here and join us in this comfy seat that I'll keep warm for you, bud.
Thanks, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. You're out in Connecticut, is that right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, northeastern Connecticut, yeah.
Okay. You grew up there?
Yes.
Okay. Nice. You're from Connecticut, New Hampshire, one of those?
You say Connecticut almost every time, or then somebody say Vermont or Maine or
New Hampshire,
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
New Hampshire.
Yeah, Rhode Island and New Hampshire are literally the same state.
They're actually literally not, but
I think they are.
New Hampshire though, yeah.
Yeah. Rhode Island and New Hampshire, the people are exactly the same.
Yeah, all right.
That's just me, but Connecticut, that is the land of Vince McMahon. Am I right? I think I'm right about that.
Stamford, Connecticut.
Yep. See, he knows exactly where he's from.
They're best friends.
Yeah. Is Vince joining us tonight? Do you make Vince cocktails or?
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
He's at the far side of the state compared to where I am.
Oh, really? Okay.
No Shane O'Mac?
No Shane O'Mac? Nothing like that? All
right.
No. All right. Well, thank you for having us. We found each other in the wild, wild world of the internet. You were gracious enough to follow us, and obviously you're a pretty loyal listener, and we greatly appreciate that. But you've become a friend too. So, and I'll tell you what. There's not many people on the internet that can make me jealous unless they're famous when it comes to making drinks. And every picture you post is like, God damn, I want to drink that right now.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. How did you get involved with making drinks, liquor? Like, where do you have a background in it, or is it just something a hobby?
No, yeah, just a hobby. Sort of always enjoyed it. Sort of always enjoyed collecting bar books, recipe books, but never really got into it too much. And then Christmas of 2018, my wife got me the Death and Company book. So that started that. And then March of 2019, we ended up in Kennebunkport, Maine at one of our favorite bars up there. And they held a cocktail class, which is, we sort of came in, it was 10 of us, my wife and I and 8 strangers. And we got to get behind their bar, use all their equipment, use their alcohol and make basically whatever we wanted. And they sort of just guided us along. They had the bartenders there and they guided us along. And that it was absolutely awesome. Great experience. Over 2 hours. I think we had 4 drinks and a shot. So stumbled
pretty good event.
Stumbled right out of there. Yeah. Did they provide an Uber, or they were just like, get lost? Oh
no. Luckily enough, Kennebunkport's pretty small, so we walked everywhere. So
I was saying it's pretty. Yeah.
That's like one place I've never been to is Maine. And I've always wanted to go.
Maine is amazing.
Yeah.
Portland. Whew.
Yeah, my buddy Zach, has like a family cabin up there, and
okay.
I think I told you every time you post pictures of being up there, I was like, man, that place is absolutely gorgeous. The only thing I know about Maine, besides what Zach tells me and what you post, is that there's like this like ice fishing show on Netflix, or at least there was like 3 or 4 years ago. That I watched, and that was, I think that's like up there, basically, like Canadian Maine.
I was gonna say it's probably further north.
Yeah.
Was it Ice Road Truckers? Or?
No, that was in Vermont, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah. But everybody, obviously, we've been talking about doing this for a while. We've also been talking about doing this in bathrobes. So we're doing it in bathrobes. Every time I've thought of Adam, I've always pictured Adam in this like prestigious luxury Bruce Wayne like manner with like a 85-foot fucking fireplace where he's got like, servants making fires for him, and he's sitting there in a bathrobe drinking like the most prestigious cocktail that's ever been made in the most prestigiously chilled glass with the biggest fucking pipe ever. I mean, it's pretty close. You got a pipe?
I don't.
Good. Yeah, keep away from that shit. It's bad for you. But So that's what we're doing tonight. I think when this episode comes out, we're just going to say this. It's Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to everybody.
Probably isn't, but it's going to be soon.
It's going to be Christmas Eve.
Happy Hanukkah.
So we got what I'm referring to as our mule log instead of a Yule log, since we drink liquor here. It's an Irish mule log going behind us, you know. Actually, I accidentally called it mule log before, and then Matt was like, mule log?
I was like, I know you're probably serious, but...
I was dead serious, yeah.
Okay.
Dead serious, just an idiot. And I even Googled Yule log when I put that on the screen.
It's funny if you Googled mule log and pulled up, like, yeah, it's a mule log.
I just kind of wondered, yeah. But so this is the bathrobe episode we've been promising. We kept up with one promise this year, guys. We have Adam on here, and we're in bathrobes. Troy's bathrobe has a story. I'm sure once the liquor starts flowing, we'll get into that. But Matt, what are we doing tonight?
Well, we're going to drink Anthony's go-to Christmas Eve whiskey. And then we're going to make a cocktail, and I'm going to make a cocktail, and we're going to talk about how bad our cocktail is and how good his is.
Yeah, that's just about right.
Yeah.
All in the spirit of Christmas, these cocktails, or the holidays. You know, if you don't, what are the Christmas holidays? There's more than one, right?
Christmas holidays?
Yeah, or Christmas time holidays. There's Hanukkah.
Oh, I was
That
like,
makes
this
a
what are
lot
you
more
talking about?
There's Christmas. There's Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
And I think there's a fourth one too.
Festivus?
Festivus.
I mean, that's the Seinfeld thing, but
Steinfeld.
Steinfeld.
That's fake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Although it has become a kind of real thing, I think.
I think that's usually how that happens. Like I don't know. I've never been a Seinfeld fan, but have you had the Midwinters before, Adam?
I've never had it before.
Okay.
Actually, I've been looking for one around here and no luck.
Yeah.
So
Good luck, man. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I tried again to get it today. I'm on 3 call lists at 3 different stores. I don't know. Me and Matt both, I think we've told this story in here. Me and Matt both lucked out with last year's. We were like, I think Matt was walking out of the liquor store and I was pulling into the liquor store and they were just like unpacking a case of it.
Yeah, I think we told that story. I was at the liquor store. He asked me if I wanted it. I'm like, yep. And then I walked out and called Anthony within 5 minutes. He lives about 10, 15 minutes away from the liquor store. Within 5 minutes, he was in the liquor store parking lot.
Oh, I was pulling into the. I almost killed an old lady. There's speed bumps. I was going 80 over them. But yeah, at Midwinter's Night Dram, a really unique play on obviously a Midsummer's Night Dream.
So is this last year's?
This is last year's. We have not been able to find this year's yet.
Okay.
This is last year's, but it's really good and actually gets better reviews than this year's, which I talked to somebody about today. But it's made by the High West Distillery in Park City, Utah, which is like a really cool place. We've done some High West stuff on here. I think it's like a gastro distillery type of deal. It's the only distillery in the world that you can ski to, which is really cool. It's like on the bottom slope of a ski resort, and you can ski right down it. Right up in there and get drunk and then try to get back up on the lifts and see what happens. But it is a blend of straight rye whiskeys, which I'm assuming they source because they source a lot of the ryes from MGP, like we talked about on last week's episode, which Adam hasn't seen yet. And then they're finished in French oak port barrels and then bottled up there in Park City. But this is Act 9, Scene 4 of the limited engagement. Me and Troy slugged a bottle of this last year. I had to, so much that I'm so upset that I didn't get one this year that I made Matt bring his that he hadn't opened until we sent a sample to Adam.
Literally opened the bottle just to send you a sample because it's still sealed.
Because I am too selfish to give you mine, Adam. I'm so sorry. But
Anthony is still trying to buy it from me.
Yeah, he won't give it to me. I drink my liquor and you look at it.
Yeah, it's great.
And then you like sample it out for people in these gift boxes. I want to drink it.
It's like a Christmas ornament, you know?
It's a Christmas ornament. Get out. You don't even celebrate Christmas.
I know I don't.
Yeah, like, man.
It makes it better.
Anyway, let's give it a little pop. Oh, yeah, it's a good pop. They always have good pops over there.
All right.
Oh. Feel free to go heavy on the pours tonight, Troy. It's not mine. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go light on the pour because I just took a bunch of cold medicine, so. Yeah, they're like, you can't have more than 3 alcoholic beverages or whatever if you consume this medicine. Like, challenge accepted.
Yeah. It's probably the best medicine there is.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry to my wife. Don't listen to me.
All right. So, Adam, correct me
sir.
if I'm wrong, but you do a bit of writing. Is that right?
I do. Yeah, that's another hobby of mine. Nothing's published or anything like that, but yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious as to kind of how it started, and it seems like there's a bit of a correlation with your stories and with your cocktails, and I think that's kind of what drew us in. And you know, I don't know, there seems to be some themes and whatnot. So I'm curious where it all began.
It actually started one night. I made a paper plane at home to put on Instagram, and I just put the caption. I think was something like, "Tonight I boarded a paper plane," and that was it.
Yeah.
And so the next one, I think in a row, I made a lost plane, which is like you swap out the rum bourbon for the rum,
Yep.
and then I made like a tequila version of it. And so it was just this little like stepping stone thing, and I was like, well, this makes sense for a story. And so it just took off from there. And so I started searching through the books I had and things like that for names of cocktails, at least that fit into the story, like the tailspin, the captain's blood, blood and sand, things like that.
Yeah.
And now eventually the character in the story is in the underworld in Hades, and it's just sort of going from there.
Wow.
So
That's so cool.
What are the drinks like down in the underworld? That sounds kind of badass, man.
A lot of activated charcoal and
Is that where the Seven Deadly Gins series came from? Because that's kind of awesome.
The Seven Deadly Gins series actually came from my 10-year-old daughter, surprisingly enough. We had a bottle of wine one night with dinner called the Seven Deadly Zins. It was just that red wine someone had gifted to us. So we popped it open and had it at the table. And my daughter took a look at it and said, "You know what, Dad? You should make a drink called the Seven Deadly Gins." And I found that very hard to argue with. So
Sure.
Here we are.
dang.
So we're three cocktails into that series and working on another 4. So
Yeah, it seems like our daughters would get along. My daughter has been squeezing fruit and mixing it with LaCroix for like the past 2 years.
Oh
and
boy.
putting it in
Speak on.
shakers. And it's like, Daddy, you always do. Can I make my special drinks now? It's like, man, we're gonna get her on the train young, man. Like, it's not good. Not good.
yeah,
Making
sounds like they get
mocktails.
along just fine.
Yeah. Well, this smells great. You definitely get a good amount of that like port there. Those rye undertones that Matt hates from MGP are there.
You know what's great is I can barely smell anything. So like, I love this. This is great.
Wow.
I can smell his ethanol.
I kind of want you to hate it, so you give me the bottle.
Yeah, I get a lot of rubbing alcohol and Manuka honey drops.
Yeah,
and,
you're welcome. I gave those to you. I wish I could tell you that it's gonna suck and that you're
Smells
gonna
like
hate
Dayquil.
it, but it's very good. I mean, it smells great, man. There's like this dark, there's like kind of like this dark like nuttiness to it too, like almost like a burnt nut shell kind of thing going on. You know,
The shell of a burnt.
shell of a burnt nut?
I didn't say the shell of. I didn't fucking say that. I said the burnt shell of a nut.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I'm not an
Burnt
idiot.
shell of a nut.
Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of there. And like, it's probably from the oak, or even like the port barrels. I'm not sure, but at the end, it's like still super bright. There's not like, you would think for like a go-to like Christmas whiskey, for me anyway, like it would be more like Christmas spices and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's just more of the allure of the bottle, the time when it's released, and like the label and the, like, if you ever see a bottle of this up close, or any of the like the limited release High West stuff, there's like glitter in the bottle.
Yeah, it's like I think they're hand blown or
Yep.
or something close to it where they actually have imperfections, which makes it pretty cool.
And it's just super easy to drink.
What do you think, Adam?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it smells great. I do get some ethanol there, but there's a sweetness that comes through too.
What do
Get a
you?
little bit of rye spice, but I agree with you. There's not a whole lot of like baking spice or anything like that when you think of like a Christmas whiskey, but it's good.
What's the proof of this?
I think it's low.
It's just under 100.
Under 100. Interesting.
Yeah, 98.6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Get like the finish is great. It's like this caramel vanilla-esque thing, but the mid palate is bright, and it does. That's where I get the rye spice right there.
Yeah.
And you get a little bit like, the more it's opening up in the glass, you get like a little bit of like a cinnamon roll type of baking thing.
I get like like specifically, it's not cashew, but it's definitely more like pecan, like a pecan cinnamon roll.
Yeah. Sounds delicious.
I agree.
Yeah. It's dangerous whiskey. The problem is this year's release, which hopefully we get at some point, has not got rated. I read someone online say that it tastes like copper piss. Yeah,
What?
I mentioned that to a store clerk today when I was going to pick up a few things and asked about it, and they said, "Well, I had a customer bring me in a sample, and it doesn't taste like copper piss. Not that I've had copper piss, and I'm not sure where that person has tasted copper piss before, but it wasn't as good as last year's. And they also raised the MSRP almost a quarter of the amount of what it was last year. I think this was a $75 bottle. I think it's going for, almost double. It's going for $130 MSRP right now.
Yeah.
Now, don't you have previous years?
So this is 9. I have 8 and 9.
Yes, you got 2020.
So
and
20
and
and 2021.
Is the 8 open?
Yeah, it's halfway gone.
That was one of the
maybe?
first bottles you got, though, wasn't it?
One of the earlier bottles. I don't remember where I got that, honestly. But
Is it as good as this?
Yeah,
well, I can't really taste much right now, so I can't give you an honest
but
opinion.
you've had this before, haven't you?
No, this is freshly opened.
But didn't you have some of Anthony's last year?
I don't think so. No.
Damn. Okay.
That damage on that shelf is
so-
me and you, Mr. Body.
Yeah, so I remember
On
like
Christmas Eve and Christmas morning.
I remember
Yes.
being hesitant to drink it because like I don't know if I really like rye. Like it was an early bottle, and then Anthony said shut up, just drink it. And I said okay, and then so I drank it, and I remember liking it more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't give a fair assessment of this right now.
Okay, that's fine.
I think it's one of the best finished ryes I've had.
I agree. Yeah. It kind of gives me what I want from rye, obviously, since it is rye, but it also gives me what I typically want from bourbon at the same time, too. And just like a little bit more of that low end, which is, rye usually gives you a little bit more of the brightness and the high end sort of, the spice. And I don't know. This is just a good sort of full-bodied, sweet, spicy whiskey. And proof for me is right where I want it to be.
Especially with how much we're going to drink it.
Yeah.
So, are you calling it a drinker?
Well, I'm not sure yet. At the very least, I do believe it's a drinker. But I'll tell you what, I think I'm actually going to call it a drinker thinker.
Wow.
But drinker first. But no, it's got some complexity that I wouldn't mind spending some time with.
Yeah. Adam, what's your take on it?
I would definitely go drinker. I agree with Troy. I'd probably go drinker thinker. Each time I go back to it, I'm getting something a little bit different. Last little sip I got something a little bit floral on the end, which was interesting. But I agree somewhat too. It for me, it drinks more like a bourbon than a rye. I feel it's got, at least on my palate, it's got more sweetness that I expect coming out of a bourbon. But it's good. I'd go drinker thinker for sure.
Hell yeah.
Matt?
Well, I'm kind of forced to think about it because I don't know what I'm drinking. All the cold medicine and congestion. So I'm going to go thinker drinker because I can't taste anything but sweetness and ethanol, and it's kind of enjoyable.
Are you sure you don't want to call it a stinker?
Yeah, well, you know what? Stinker.
Thanks. How much?
$2,000.
Fuck you. You said you were going to give it to me for Christmas last week.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm going thinker drinker, and I'm sure I'll go back to it when I can approach it in a more scientific setting.
Well, we wish you luck with that because
Thanks.
I don't think we're going to be sharing with you on Christmas. So
Yeah.
You don't think so? Anthony has his own bottle. So.
That's going to be gone on Christmas Eve. That's
we don't. Yeah,
that's me
yeah,
and Troy's tradition.
This is.
Yeah.
We don't think we're going to be sharing this one with you.
Yeah. And if you don't give me that one when I get mine, this year's, you can't have it at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go home and drink it then, and by that I'm gonna go put it on my shelf and never open it again.
Yeah. All right.
It'll be here next Christmas.
What do you think, there, sir?
I think it's everything I remember. And I was worried, obviously the lid's been on that bottle for a year. I haven't touched it since last Christmas. And I just remember thoroughly enjoying it. And it's nice because I think my palate is definitely more developed than it was this time last year.
Yeah.
Just because the amount of whiskey we drink, and I don't know. The nose is awesome. The mid palate's great. The finish is awesome. There's and that burnt substance has kind of turned into like this buttery popcorn, like lingering thing on my tongue, which I absolutely love. I think it's a super complex rye, especially compared to some of the other High West stuff you might get into, especially the ryes. I mean, they have some good stuff. They have some really good limited releases. Like the campfire thing is super unique and interesting. I really dig that. But and I don't like peated stuff, but
The High Country or whatever. It's good too.
High Country single malt they do, just like honey barrels, man. It's delicious. When we did an episode on that, but this to me is worth the hype. It's worth the hunt. It kind of brings that allure to the season. I think they do a great job with marketing. I don't know, man. I think it's a drinker thinker. Absolutely a drinker first. I would say 80% drinker, 20% thinker, and it's only because like a lot of that is mental, which is like it's so fucking good. I just want to drink it. I got this bottle. It's Christmas Eve. I'm here with family and friends. Like, there's that. But if it was sitting down in a neutral setting, like it's a super complex type of deal, and it's ever evolving. So I would absolutely say that. And Matt, thank you very much for cracking the bottle
You're
that you were
so
never going to
welcome.
drink for not only me and Troy, but also for Adam.
You're very
Yeah.
welcome as well.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Indeed.
I can't wait to drink it and enjoy it sometime.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
All
right.
The finish is awesome.
Isn't it great? And it's got like this
just
nice
lingers.
linger. And I agree with you on the bourbon sweetness, man. Like, it's not your typical rye sweetness. And
Yeah.
it's definitely like I'm wondering if it says a blend of straight rye, so there's no bourbon element into it. But I
It
wonder,
could, but it also could be
like a high corn
or like a-
bill. Yeah,
Could possibly be, yeah.
I guess I should do due diligence and check, huh?
Do.
Troy, can you put that on the shelf? No shit.
Is it the new elf on the shelf? Ay. I'm gonna have it just put it. I'm gonna put it around your house and just have it like an elf on the shelf, just watching you. Be like, Anthony, are you being good? You don't
It's just
deserve me
me.
yet.
Every day I'm good. I get a sip.
Can I? I might do that, honestly.
Adam, I can't wait for you to come here so you can try this Infinite Drinker because it's fucking delicious.
No, it's getting pretty full there, guys.
Well, we empty it a
is.
lot too. We take little sips every now and then. If we didn't drink off of it every now and then, it would be overflowing.
So, interesting. I don't know if it's that interesting. Ratio of whiskey is top secret. So they say it is a blend of 95.5 MGP and then 80-20 High West distillery.
Of a High West rye?
Rye and malted rye.
Malted rye.
Yep.
I think a lot of that, I love malted ryes. Absolutely love malted ryes. Like, there's only one New Riff bottle that I've ever liked, and there's their malted rye.
the
The malted rye is fucking great. And it's like, if you find it, it's a $35 bottle.
Yep.
Like, and it's so delicious. I that's the kind of the way to go, I think, especially. Anyway. All right. So, Adam's the cocktail master. Obviously, he has a great palate. I feel like, and when you're here, we're actually going to do this. Maybe we'll just save up a bunch of Cocktail Doctor entries, and then
We have 2 already.
I know, and then we'll have Adam do them when he's here. Well, we got to do a couple before then, but Adam sent us a cocktail last week. I think we're going to do that last. Me and Troy have been fucking around. I know we wanted to do something with eggnog. I found this recipe last week. This is how long me and Troy have been fucking around, Adam.
It's all right.
I found this. I mean, I think I told you last week we wanted to mess around with eggnog a little bit.
Yes.
Troy makes a great homemade eggnog. I don't know. Was that last year you made that, or was it the year before that you made that eggnog?
Well, I've never technically made eggnog, but I'm a big fan of the flip cocktail. And the flip cocktail is basically whatever type of spirit you want to use, and a whole egg and some sugar, and you can put some cream in there if you want to. I think I did, or maybe it always calls for cream. I can't remember, but yeah, and it's basically like an on the fly, like to order type of eggnog cocktail.
Yeah,
sure.
And I just love the texture and the consistency, and
What were you making that one year then?
that was what I was making. I was making flips.
It was, okay.
So, like for instance, that cocktail.
That's how good they were,
competition-
guys. I just drank a bunch of them and thought he was giving me eggnog.
Oh, thanks for the eggnog, Troy.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, like the one I did at the cocktail competition at Lindsay's house last Thanksgiving, Andy and Lindsay's house, was a Madeira flip with the IPA
Oh, I remember that.
on top.
Yeah, I was not a fan. I don't remember being a fan of that one.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I just don't like IPAs too much.
Yeah, but in a perfect world, remember we drank the Dogfish 75-minute IPA, which is brewed with maple syrup, and you loved it.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did we drink before?
I don't know.
Yeah.
800 whiskeys.
But anyway, yeah. There's a lot of fun you could do with flips and a lot of fun you could have with eggnog too. So that's what we're going to try and do.
Is
That's what we're going to try to do. Yeah. I found this episode called the cousin, or this episode. I found this recipe called the Cousin Eddie from like the National Lampoons thing. And it's kind of like, my phone is plugged in over there so we don't lose Adam because our Wi-Fi sucks down here. So I have you on my hotspot. But it was, what was it? It was a little bit of sugar, a whole egg, heavy cream. There was Fernet, which I'm not a big fan of. Fernet, just it was a little bit. I think it was like a half ounce of Fernet. There was rum. It was a 5-year Eldorado.
Oh, there was Armagnac.
And Armagnac is the main base of it. This is a whiskey podcast. I didn't want to have Armagnac, and I figured we would just call this one the Uncle Troy because that's what my daughter calls Uncle Troy, and he's always like walking in the house and going shitter's full right around. I mean, he's always here on Christmas, like So it's kind of like we'll just call this one the Uncle Troy.
Oh my god.
And I thought he made me eggnog, but so I thought it would be.
Maybe I did.
I swear to God, you did. You were sitting there over a fucking pot stirring shit for like 3 hours, and then we got drunk.
You're just making dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. But we kind of riffed it up a little bit. So we wanted to use rye. I made a peppermint syrup instead of using like actual like sugar in it. I just kind of wanted to like, candy it up, make it a little bit more Christmas. By the way, if you run a store in Fort Wayne, Indiana, or like you own a franchise of a Meyer or something, stock fucking candy canes in your store.
I was going to take a picture. There was
I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that. I went to 3 stores the other day trying to find fucking candy canes. Peppermint candy canes.
Yeah.
Not a single one in sight. Not a single one. Not one. They have Skittle candy canes. They had chocolate Tootsie Roll candy canes. They didn't even have peppermint extract. And I was like, well, we're fucked on the peppermint, the peppermint syrup or the candy cane garnish.
I burned them all.
Well,
I'm sorry.
And then the other day I was making something and I was pulling stuff out of my account. I was like, oh, peppermint extract. We're good. Anyway. And then Troy 2 hours later texted me pictures of candy canes.
Yeah, now I can't stop seeing them.
Anyway, back to the cocktail. So this is kind of and Adam, I kind of want to get your take on this. And I texted you the recipe before, but
yes.
The Uncle Troy, I'm thinking it's going to be, we made this peppermint simple. So that recipe I texted you, I think I want to beef it up a little bit too. I kind of want to do 3/4 of the peppermint syrup, 1 egg, 1.25 ounces of heavy cream, 1/2 ounce of Fernet. I kind of want to do a full ounce of Eldorado. We're doing 15 here, right? Is that the one, or do you have 12 or 15?
12 here.
Yeah, I have 12 as well. Yep. So we'll do the 12 Eldorado. I want to do 1 ounce of that, and then 1.5 ounces of Rittenhouse. I feel like if we boost up the peppermint a little bit, and then if we boost up the rum a little bit. I did make it before, and it was like just a little thin in the rye perspective. Also, I used half and half because Troy hadn't got here with the heavy cream yet. So, Adam, I think the only thing we're changing, at least from what I texted you, was 3/4 of the peppermint syrup and then a full ounce of the Eldorado.
Sure.
What do you think on that, man? Like, if you're just sitting there, like, oh, I would try that recipe. Like, was there anything you would add?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not a huge eggnog guy.
Yeah.
But I'm absolutely willing to try it. So I'm not sure that I would add anything. I think the Fernet will give it a cool earthiness.
Yeah.
I'd go for it just as it is.
All right.
Yeah. A little bit of Fernet definitely goes a long way, but
absolutely.
I
haven't.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say you could probably maybe come down to a 1/4 ounce on the Fernet instead of a half, but it might get lost. I don't know.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to test it.
You're gonna make it. So
yeah.
Is that cool with you? You're gonna make it. Adam, do me a favor.
Sure.
I think he's one of us, Troy.
Yeah.
Did you just hear what he said?
No. I mean, yes, but I don't know.
So you two were like cutting each other off, and then what did you say, Troy?
I don't know.
Adam, when Troy was talking over you, what did you say, Adam?
I said, you go ahead.
Oh yeah.
He's there. He's got it.
I think it's because you're from the East Coast.
Yeah.
The go ahead, the way we say it from Jersey or the East Coast, I feel like is
go ahead.
Is go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he's got it too. Every second, I like you more and more. But
You go ahead.
yeah. Well, if we're gonna fuck with it, and he's down here on a computer,
Not the fuck with it.
like how are we gonna fuck with it? And then you tell him what you.
I think we just commit right now to doing that, And would you do it?
I mean,
Long distance relationships, Adam. I'm telling you, man. Complicated.
I think a half ounce of Fernet's going to be okay.
All right.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. Let's do it. And then you know what? If Troy's wrong, you're the new cocktail doctor number 2. That's all.
Yeah.
And you can become an intern with me.
Yeah.
The water's nice.
Then Troy gets demoted to intern.
Yeah.
He only runs a bar.
And then we have to compete for the intern for the spot.
By the way, I need to tell a story, everybody. And I'm not knocking anyone in this town because there's a lot of great cocktail programs in this town. But I went to a restaurant the other night in town, and it was the food was great. It was the first time I've been there. The bar menu, looking at it, just is fucking fantastic. And I know for a fact that Troy had a job offer there. And he probably doesn't want me to say that. I'm just saying it. Or he had an interview there. Let's put it that way. Don't shake your head.
Okay.
Yeah. Before he got the manager gig at Connor's Rooftop, which he totally transformed the menu. Yeah.
I forgot. They actually did ask me. Never mind.
Yep. Yeah. See? I'm right.
I literally forgot that.
Yeah. See? Well, they haven't forgotten about you. Let me tell you. Those drinks on there are bougie as fuck. They're in concept. They look excellent. They're $20 to $25 a piece, and they suck.
What?
And every drink that Troy has invented for that bar that I've tried is fucking fantastic. So
yeah, we took a big crew there, and I tried a sip of everybody's, and they were all very good. So.
Yeah, fucking fantastic.
Everybody I tell, they're like, "Oh, I don't know about Connor's." Like, just go and try it. Yeah. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
All right, Adam. Final recipe.
Yes.
And then we'll break. 3/4 ounce of the pep. 1 egg. 1 1/2 of heavy cream. Half ounce Fernet. 1 ounce El Dorado. 1 1/2 of Rittenhouse. Dry shake. Ice shake. Large cube. And then so before I did it with cinnamon, nutmeg, and fresh cracked black pepper, and it was delicious.
Yeah. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. So garnish, cinnamon, nutmeg, fresh cracked pepper.
And I'd be interested to see how the two look side by side with the same ingredients.
Well, Troy's making it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Let's take a little cocktail break.
Cocktail break.
Cool.
Welcome back from cocktail break. I can't feel my face because all the medicine. Cocktail breaks brought to you by a joke. Hey, Anthony.
No. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Yes, Matt.
How do you get an Italian to shut up?
I don't know, Matt. How do you get an Italian to shut up?
Tie their hands together.
Man, that's fucking racist.
Is that? I don't think so.
Someone submit that?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you can't have the Midwinter's Night Dram because that's mine, not Matt. So who submitted it?
You know what's the worst thing is? They submitted it in person. I didn't write down whose name. Like, I'm going to remember because it's so funny. And I didn't remember. So if you submitted that joke, whoever you are, definitely told me in person.
It was me.
You get a bottle of you get a bottle of Midwinter's Dram. All right, cocktail. It looks. Did you put it on the cam?
Yeah, I put it right here. This is where you said the cocktail cam was, right?
Here, I don't know if you can see it. I'll do this. That's all you get. Or Troy has the penguin mug, but
yeah,
I had to do it.
It's fine. I used to have like 4 of those. I don't know where the fuck you probably broke those. Like you broke all my other glasses.
God damn it!
You know what I was doing today, Adam? Before we did this, I was cleaning up a Glencairn that Troy broke last week. That I was every single day I've been down here, I'm still finding large shards of glass.
I'm glad I'm not wearing shoes today.
Yeah, no, I vacuumed, I mopped everything. Well, I didn't mop, but it literally broke right under your chair, man.
Cool,
It's like right there.
The one day I don't wear shoes.
Yeah.
All right, Troy.
Was all the frustration worth it? What do you think?
Did not, dude. It was like I was contemplating making two at once, since I made 3 total. And I figure I'll make 2 in 1 shaker. There's just too much liquid in this drink.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at
that was a rookie mistake.
I was looking at the proportions like that is a lot of ounces. That doesn't add up.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the adjustments. When I made it when I got home from work today just to like try it because we're so prepared here. We make cocktails we've never had. Pretend to be professional about it, but didn't have Fernet, so I used Ramazzotti and used half and half because I didn't have heavy cream.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Well, no, it still got me. I was still able to test like. At least I'm happy we bumped up the peppermint level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy we bumped up the rum level to the rye because you can just kind of you didn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is great.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm a fan.
The Uncle Troy. Adam, what do you think, man? Now that you're gone, you're probably drunk by now. You drank half of that thing?
Nah, it's maybe about 2/3 gone.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's good. It's definitely a drinker. Again, for not being an eggnog guy, really, it's pretty good. I do think it's funny. It's one of those things where like the Fernet doesn't come through super strong, but if it wasn't there, I think you'd know the difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely would know the difference. Yeah.
But I think the bumping up of the rum was good. I think it would have been lost a little bit.
Yep.
But it's decent. I do like the cracked pepper on top of it. It
Yeah.
gives a nice aroma as you go in for that sip. So.
Yeah. What's your aversion to eggnog in general?
It's funny. I don't know. As a general rule, I've never really done opaque drinks.
Really? Oh wow.
I don't know. It's just strange. Just one of those strange
That's
quirks.
No, that's. I mean, I get it, but
I feel like
think
this
I'm
is a
next.
good Christmas morning because you're eating your egg, you got your breakfast, and you got your drink. You're ready to go.
yeah.
Just saying.
I don't know.
your
I feel
eggs.
like this is like a dessert drink,
Yeah.
sitting by the fire after a big ass
Oh yeah,
meal.
sitting by the fire for sure.
Yeah, like it's definitely a
Yeah.
sitting by the fire.
Am I
drink.
wrong? I just want this for breakfast now. Oh God.
You don't? Do you even like it? Did you try it?
Well, I can taste cream and rum, and it tastes like I don't get a lot of mint because I probably think I can't taste right now, but I get a little bit of like a minty rye-ish essence.
Yeah.
But no, it tastes like I'm drinking flavored milk.
It's
creamy flavored milk, and I like it.
As opposed to creamy milk or non-creamy milk with no flavor.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got somebody I work with who has a lot of food and beverage experience, but currently is like he's the head of our HR department randomly. But he told me he'd been kind of tweaking an Alton Brown eggnog recipe for a handful of years that that Alton Brown recommends aging for like a minimum of 3 months and up to a year. And isn't that wild?
Yeah, that is wild.
I mean,
So the alcohol has to keep the dairy
So you
preserved.
can age dairy for a year?
I mean, that's the thing. The alcohol is the only possibility of
alcohol is a
preserving.
preservative,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So like,
yeah. But I don't know the science behind how it doesn't negatively impact the dairy. But I mean, I tried some that he started a batch in August, and I think one of the main reasons why I have so much more respect for this guy is because he's thinking about making eggnog for the holidays in August because he's just
Fair.
yeah.
That is
Like
fair.
I respect the shit out of that. If you're thinking about your Christmas cocktails in the summer, I'm just like, yeah, all right, you get it.
well,
But-
I was kind of talking to Adam about this, like, while you were making the drinks, but I've been making like Amaro and aperitifs and stuff like that, and it's like, man, if I want to make and I'm thinking about like barrel aging some of them and like prolongating like the steeping process and like the sugar process afterwards and letting it steep a little bit longer there. But like, I'm already starting to think about like spring aperitifs and like fucking spring Amaros and shit that I should like start making
Yeah.
now type of thing. So I totally understand that logic. I just
kinda have
wouldn't
to.
age eggnog in like my shed in August.
That's so weird.
Yeah, you know, it's like
Yeah.
it's gonna like a chicken will hatch from the hatched egg.
But you have
You
to
know?
like pretty regularly stir it and whatnot
Oh,
throughout
sure.
throughout
Well,
the.
it just reminds me of what we're talking about, King Louis or whatever, where it's like you'll never taste the whiskey or brandy or whatever you're
Oh,
making.
yeah,
It's
Louis.
just like you have to think about things 23 plus years in
Yeah.
advance. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
That is pretty wild.
Yeah,
You
that's true.
put something in a barrel and it's 25 years and you're dead in 10, like,
Yeah.
you know, and then it's like the most world-renowned whiskey ever.
It's not about you at that point. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna just go drinker because I like milk.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't like milk, but I like this.
I think it's great. I honestly, I think the garnish is awesome too. I think the cracked pepper and the nutmeg and the cinnamon
Yeah.
just kind of add like this like seasonal charm, so to speak, on it. You get like what you want from that eggnog thing, and then like that peppermint finish just reminds you what time of year it is. I think the Fernet in there is perfectly balanced, and I'm not a Fernet fan at all, and Troy knows that.
Yeah.
But I think it's perfect in this
Yeah.
drink.
Me too.
I like the rum. I almost want to say, if we could tweak anything, I almost kind of want to say that we should use a different rye, like maybe a little bit more of a vibrant, Christmassy rye. Not. This is not.
See, Midwinters.
No, it's not a Midwinter's is not a Christmassy rye. I'm talking like spices and
piney,
cardamom and like things like like piney, like honestly, like that other High West store pick that I have.
Oh yeah.
Or the rabbit hole because it tastes like pine needles. The $7,000 rabbit hole or whatever the fuck it goes. Yeah, like the Founders, the Race King.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. Something very more, Griswoldy out, sap from trees. Like maybe a little maple in there. Or something. I don't know. It's definitely a drinker. And I mean, as is, I think it's a drinker. I definitely think it could be riffed on, and you can make some fun stuff out of it for sure.
I would do like a maple syrup rather than a peppermint syrup if I were going to make it.
That would be delicious.
A maple peppermint syrup. Anyway, or like a candy cane garnish.
Maple mint.
Yeah, but like I don't know, man. Like for as seasonal as eggnog is, and as one-dimensional as eggnog sounds, I think eggnog is a very riffable thing. And traditional eggnog, Troy were looking up recipes. Traditional, and Adam first mentioned that maybe it wasn't as creamy as he would like or thought it was going to be, but like traditional eggnog is half and half, whole milk and heavy cream and eggs.
Jeez.
Like it's just fucking cow fat and chicken shit. Like that's literally what it is, man. So I mean, we just used heavy cream and egg in this. It's a quick eggnog, I guess. But
yeah.
Quick nog. Troy's quick nog.
Quick nog. Uncle Troy's quick nog.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Well,
thanks for
Did you rate it, Troy?
Joining the.
Did you rate it, Troy?
Oh no, I didn't. I think it sucks.
Good.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's drinker. I would drink as much as I could right before I'm about to throw up.
It's so good at the bottom, man. I'm telling you right now.
It gets more minty as you drink on.
Ooh.
The best part of the drink is at the bottom of this glass right now.
Really?
Yeah. I love evolving drinks.
Mm.
And I also kind of wonder, this is a shame that I'm going to do this.
Oh, boy.
It kind of goes hand in hand with this.
You going to chase it with expensive whiskey?
We got ourselves a pairing.
That's fucking delicious, guys. Just saying.
But yeah, Adam, thank you for joining with, trying our cocktail live.
Trying our cocktail. He's going to try them in person.
Yeah.
Hopefully next month. Talking about him coming out in January.
Hell yeah.
We're going to give him a tour of the town. We're going to get, like, fucking manager seating at Connor's rooftop.
Oh, yeah.
You know what we'll do, Adam? We'll go sit outside. The whispering winds of shit blow through Indiana for about 4 months here. They're about 18 miles an hour. We'll go sit on the rooftop.
Yeah.
And just get our taints fucking sandblasted by winds and have frost taint.
You're really selling it.
Yeah. Anyway, I haven't used the taint word in Adam, you were so kind to spend, weeks preparing a cocktail for us, and we took so much time preparing this one for you because we're assholes. I'm super excited. That was the first time I ever made gingerbread syrup. Troy said he has a little bit of a different recipe than you, but
oh yeah.
It was amazing. I could literally put it on pancakes or just like drink it.
Yes.
I had made a batch for my coworkers last Christmas, and one of my coworkers did that, put it on pancakes.
I could totally see that. If I have any left over, like we might do that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, man. We might make some like Christmas morning. Like
what is this cocktail?
Yeah, Adam, what is the cocktail?
So my wife helped me come up with the name. We called it the Nice List. And so it's basically, it's a little bit of lemon juice sort of bind everything together, 1/4 ounce of allspice dram, 1/2 ounce of the gingerbread syrup, 1/2 ounce of amaretto, 1/2 ounce of overproof rum, and then 1.5 ounces of bourbon.
Dang.
So,
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Had to stick with the whiskey.
What bourbon did you use?
I use Buffalo Trace here.
Hell yeah, we're
Found
gonna use
that worked
Buffalo
pretty
Trace. Yeah, the Buffalo Trace works good with a straw or in a drink or
On a helmet.
out of the
It
barrel.
was funny because I tried rye first and tried a whole bunch of different iterations with rye, and felt it never really worked. And then I switched it over to bourbon and was like, that's it.
It's funny how that works
The
sometimes.
sweetness with the gingerbread and the spice and the.
Especially with Buffalo Trace too. Like,
I wonder if the rye was competing.
yeah, shaken, stirred.
It's shaken. You could probably stir it because it's only 1/4 ounce of lemon juice in it.
Right.
So you could probably stir it if you really wanted to, but I tend to shake it and then do a little grate of fresh nutmeg over the top of it. Nick and Nora glass.
Okay,
Nice.
do you chill the glass?
Yeah, I usually do.
Yeah, I'm gonna chill it right now. Fresh nutmeg. I'm gonna go make it.
Or make it?
Yeah, I'm gonna make
All
it.
right.
I actually apparently there's an allspice dram shortage in Indiana right now.
Yeah.
Maybe in the world. Who knows? I do have a bottle of St. Elizabeth's hidden in the back of my cabinet, but I also made some, so I'm just going to use that if you guys don't mind. It's really good. I actually compared it to the St. Elizabeth's, and it tastes better, in my opinion. Humble opinion. Stay tuned. I'm going to be making all your spirits, too, and we're going to sell them to you illegally out the back fucking door. Woohoo!
All right.
Anyway, cocktail break?
Number 2.
All right.
Cocktail break.
All right.
And welcome back from a cocktail break. This cocktail break is brought to you by Yeasty Boy Crackers. And also Adam. He's got a joke for us.
Yes, I do. It's a little on the longer side, but bear with me here.
All right.
Okay.
So an older gentleman sitting on his front porch, rocking in his rocking chair, and sees a young boy come walking down the street with a roll of duct tape in his hand.
Oh, this
Says,
is going
"Hey,
well.
son, where you going with that roll of duct tape?" He's like, "I'm going to go catch me some ducks." He's like, "You can't catch ducks with duct tape." He's like, "Old man." And he goes off down the street. Later on that night, the old man's still out there rocking away, and here comes the little boy. Duct tape's all unrolled, ducks stuck along the entire length of the duct tape. The old man's like, "Well, shit." Okay. Next morning, old man's back out there in his rocking chair. Here comes the young boy carrying a roll of chicken wire under his arm. "Hey, son, where you going with that chicken wire?" "I'm going to go catch me some chickens." "You darn fool, you can't catch chickens with chicken wire." Old man. And off he goes. That night, here comes the little boy down the street. Old man's out there rocking. Chicken wire's all unrolled. Chicken stuck all in the chicken wire. Well, oh shit. Next morning, old man's out there rocking his rocking chair. Little boy comes down the street carrying some sticks under his arm. Old man goes, "Son, where you going with those sticks?" Little boy goes, "These aren't sticks, these are pussy willows." The old man goes, "I'll get my hat."
God damn it. Son of a...
Love it.
Well, Adam, I would say we would send you out some whiskey, but we already did.
I
so.
told him we will.
Yeah.
I told him he can cheat, and he can double down. He can win on his episode.
Well, I mean, if he's coming here next month, he's going to have a selection.
Anthony will
feel
send
like.
you some whiskey tomorrow.
I feel like Adam's going to get the 5-star stinker drinker thinker experience, which is not much, but
we should put it as our Patreon tier.
we should put it as a
5-star
Patreon
treatment.
tier. Yeah. So I may or may not have tasted a little bit of this while I was making it because it's every single fucking ingredient in here I absolutely love.
I just wanted to get a picture of this.
It does not disappoint. Man, that gingerbread syrup is stupid. It's so good.
Is this Bullwinkle?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's from National Lampoons.
Oh, I thought it was... Okay.
Yeah. I only have 2 Nick and Noras, so Matt got the which we probably should have used for the other drink.
The Marty Moose glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes me happy. Should I drink out the front or the back?
Probably the other side. The nose forward. Allspice Dram first and foremost, especially this time of year. It's a classic staple to have around. If you can't find it, it's easy to make. It's fun to make. It's rewarding to make. Plantation Overproof Rum is the best fucking $35 bottle of liquor you can have in your house, I think.
Liquor?
Liquor. Yeah, like literally, I think it's the best $35 bottle of something you can have to spoil people with because, first of all, it makes people's cheeks warm. Second of all, it's fucking delicious and it really complexes up a drink. I think like
You just have to know how to use it.
absolutely has to be used correctly.
Yeah.
It's like 140 proof rum or something like that. But like,
Yeah.
it is so complex. Like even if you taste it neat, it's got quite a bit of burn, but the flavors there are awesome. Obviously, I'm kind of scared that a bottle of Buffalo Trace got opened because that is no good for
Because it'll be gone.
anyone on this street, and and that means me and Troy. We're not drinking any more of that tonight, and it's a store pick, and it was delicious.
Oh.
Obviously the lemon juice is great too, but
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the combination of the lemon and the rum.
Yep.
It's just
Yep.
very, I don't know, very satisfying.
and for only having a half ounce of that rum in there, how much it pops in here.
Yeah.
It's deliciously like, and listen, if this wasn't a Christmas drink, I think I'd probably still say this. It's like, it's sweet in a jolly way. Like it kind of reminds me of gumdrops and like gingerbread, obviously with that ginger syrup in it, but like, it is Christmas candy for adults.
It is decadent, but also bright. Like it has
Very
that. It's really lush and rich.
Yep.
but it is at the same time it kind of holds up and puckers a little bit.
It's like the Christmas lights shining out of the snow type of bright. It's I don't know. That's the dumbest analogy ever. Not as bad as Matt's shell things, but
well, those are the best. But yeah, what do you think about your own cocktail?
yeah.
I think it's a drinker for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not biased at all.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Sometimes it's like, and Adam, maybe tell me how you do this. Like sometimes when it comes to like viscous syrups like that, there's not a lot of water in the syrup, right? So like it's very syrupy. Like when you say like simple syrup, it's liquid. You can pour it, right? Like this is a syrup. This is like, and there's molasses in the syrup. We'll post the if you don't mind, Adam, we'll post your gingerbread syrup
Go
recipe.
right ahead, yeah.
So like that part of it, when you're pouring that in a jigger and trying to measure that, and then you're pouring that in the cocktail, really coats the jigger, and it's a slow pour out of the jigger, and it's almost like, man, I think I kind of have to over pour here, like just by a little bit over the half ounce mark.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But then at the same time, and I always go from lowest ratio to highest ratio. So then, like the Amaretto, which also is a shining star ingredient in this drink.
That's what that is.
Very underused. I really wish we did more with Amaretto here.
What kind do you have?
I have Lazzaroni.
Damn
yeah,
right.
Yeah. Anyway, like then you pour the next ingredient. If you don't wash your jigger like a normal person, like now you're coating this gingerbread syrup with every other ingredient that you pour in there. So then it ends up being more gingerbread syrup than it should. I don't know. How do you go about that, man? With like a viscous syrup like this, do you underpour? Do you overpour? Do you pour even?
I usually pour it right to the mark.
Really?
But then I try to make this one, I never flipped the jigger over. I just poured from the 1 ounce side on everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it helps clear out some of that viscous syrup a little bit better. So
that makes sense to pour it even. I always overpour. The Buffalo Trace is the only thing I poured from the other side of the jigger. So mine's a 1 to 2 jigger, but it's got an ounce and a half mark on the other side of it, and it was an ounce and a half of Buffalo Trace. So I just figured I'd
I
flip
assume
it.
you just pour everything in. The end, you just have a little bit of like syrup left over. And you just run your finger in. It's a little treat for yourself.
My tongue, and then I
okay.
immediately start making the next drink. Yeah, without washing.
That makes a lot more sense. Makes sense that I got sick after
jigger.
you got sick. Yeah. All right.
Shelby, focus.
No.
In the jigger.
No. Please don't.
Bologna
Please.
sandwich. Matt doesn't like it. I thought it was funny.
Matt doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was okay with it. I just thought it was funny if I said no and you did it anyway. But
Keep it in, Shelbs.
no, delete it.
Shelbers, keep it in.
Delete it. And
Anyway, I don't know, man. We're having some guests over on Christmas. This might be a. Can I? Do you mind if
Yeah.
I? It kind of has to
I agree.
happen more than once, I think.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely fucking delicious, man.
I'd be honored.
You did miss your calling. You were telling me that earlier. You did miss you make fantastic fucking drinks.
if you were to open up a bar,
Yes.
what kind of bar would it be, and what would it be called?
Great question.
It would probably be, honestly, probably be classic cocktail driven, dark, darker, small seating area, sort of group seating areas kind of thing.
Like speakeasy type of deal. Yeah.
Easy but you don't need a passport to get in. Just
Sure.
show up. Please show up and buy my drinks.
Yeah.
But and what would it be called? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a hard question.
Puzzles.
I agree. I would.
Yeah.
That would be terrible.
Have you been to Death and Co. in New York?
I have not, unfortunately.
Yeah. If you ever go, like you literally just described that atmosphere. Did he not?
Yes.
I mean, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my wife and I have actually talked about just briefly and sort of high in the sky opening a burlesque bar and just calling it V's. So
Dang.
What would the name V's come from? From your last
just my
name?
last name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you should call it Vanderswags, dude. Like, and I won't even take any royalties,
Just
man,
swags.
for not being able to pronounce fucking English.
Do
Yeah.
you
Like-
do you have a cocktail? Like, what was the first cocktail you feel like you mastered, or do you think you've you've made your own? Essentially?
I think I make a pretty good old fashioned, honestly, and that's where I started. Especially with the Death and Company book, I started right in their classic cocktail section.
Yep.
But it's funny. We were down in Disney on one of the trips, and we were at the bar at the top of Bay Lake Tower, and I had my first Boulevardier, And that's what sent me down like bitter stirred cocktail alley. And
Amen.
Interesting.
I've been there ever since.
We're gonna have to talk off air about where you find good drinks in Disney, because I feel like I drank every place that served liquor in that whole city, and I could not find a good I mean, they had some good stuff I stayed at the Boardwalk Resort when we were there. We'll have to link up and talk about. I know you're a Disney fan. Like we go every other year. I did not have actually at Galaxy's Edge. I had a pretty good drink in the you know what I'm talking about, that little
Cantina.
Yeah, the cantina.
I can't talk about Disney anymore.
Yeah,
so.
it's fine. Adam, so you mentioned classic cocktails. And for anyone out there, and we've recommended this to everyone, I think I've gifted some of our good friends this book, like that Death & Co. book, and there's 3 of them now, I think.
There's 3 of them, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I own all 3 of them, too. The Cocktail Codex is right here. The new one that just came out is really good, too. But the first one is literally like the cocktail Bible.
Awesome. Yeah,
and it's a gateway drug, man. Like, just like kind of like what you're saying. It is. It's like it gets you into, and it's like, man, where else in the world would I read a full fucking, 18 pages about how to use ice in a drink and be engaged? Like, that's the big thing. But you mentioned classic cocktails. Me and Troy are huge in classic cocktails. And honestly, I think for you to understand how a cocktail works and the actual codex of a cocktail and building a drink in all of its formalities, like, I think you do have to understand classic cocktails, and it's cocktail history, right? It's just like it's what the ground is built on. What is your go-to? Besides like an old fashioned, and I actually want to talk to you about that old fashioned because you have some competition here, bud. What is your go-to classic cocktail? If you're gonna like go out to a bar, let's just say you're up in Maine and you find this new bar and it's awesome, or like anywhere you go, Orlando, wherever, and you find this bar and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna judge this place based on how they make me this drink. Like, what is it?
Usually a Negroni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gin or like mezcal. Do you fuck with mezcal at all?
Gin.
Yeah.
I do like mezcal, but I'll usually do a gin Negroni for sure.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and that's honestly a solid, a solid way to judge somebody. But what is your go-to gin Negroni recipe? As far as like spirit choice, obviously, it's.
Yeah, I really like a Beefeater, though. I've been into Plymouth lately.
Interesting. Okay.
Plymouth is great.
Just a classic Beefeater London Dry, 1:1:1.
Yeah. All right.
I do like I like Noilly Prat Rouge quite a bit, the French vermouth.
Yeah.
I've just opened a bottle of Coqui di Torino. That's pretty good.
Is that your first time opening that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, bud.
Yeah.
Can you get the Starlino stuff by you?
I haven't seen it anywhere. No.
All right. Next time you hit that Total Wine, ask him about it.
Look for it.
Yeah.
Right.
They make that, and they make a couple aperitifs too that are absolutely delectable too. They actually make it's a strawberry and an orange one they make, and then they make like their normal like rose petal one that's awesome.
That orange one, I really want to try.
Well, I'm gonna make it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm on a little kick.
Well, I have. Oh, we didn't rate this. Let's rate this.
Let's
first.
rate the. I mean, I think it's pretty fucking obvious what it is. We're sitting here, orgasming all over Adam. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Sorry, bud.
I
Metaphorically, dude.
This is the first first drink I've been able to taste.
Oh, well, that's because like it's so incredibly bold.
I'll
start. Every single and like the ratios. I feel like you did perfect with the ratios, man. If we were going to cocktail doctor this, there might be a couple things that I can get analytical with, but I feel like the ratios are perfect. It's a half ounce of lemon juice, a half ounce of allspice Dram.
Isn't it only quarter ounce lemon?
I'm sorry, quarter of allspice and lemon. Yep. And then the syrup, man. I'm telling you right now, the syrup is the secret fucking weapon. So it's a half ounce of that, half ounce of Amaretto, half ounce of the overproof rum, and then an ounce and a half of Buffalo Trace. Every single ingredient, which is funny, except the Buffalo Trace, is represented in this cocktail. It's almost like the bourbon, and you were mentioning lemon before, kind of like gelling it all together. I feel like the Buffalo Trace is the one that gels it all together.
Sure.
Because the Buffalo Trace is basically transparent in here, which is saying something. Because that's a. Can you taste it? If you think about it, can you taste it? Because I get everything else. I get everything I want. I get allspice Dram.
But
I get the gingerbread liqueur. Get just a little bit of lemon. The Amaretto is there, and I fucking love that we're drinking something with Amaretto in it. I think it's the first time on this podcast.
And not Amaretto sour.
Yeah, like seriously.
Yeah.
The nutmeg on the nose is great. I mean, I don't know, man. It's a drinker all day, but if you know what you're doing, I think it's a drinker thinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, there's no bite in this cocktail, which is ridiculous, considering how much hard alcohol.
It's all
there is.
alcohol.
I mean, like,
I might as well have spiked the fucking lemon.
dude, it's fucking dangerous. I'm just gonna say, be aware that a couple of these, and you're gonna be feeling it in a great way. I'm feeling very warm and tingly.
That's the robe.
It's the bathrobe and the mule.
Yeah, that's also
and
true.
the
And the
mule
fire.
log.
Yeah.
The
The
mule
fire.
log.
Yeah.
The mule log.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, without question, a drinker. It's got everything I love. I think a lot about gingerbread syrup these days because I'm making one for a cocktail,
Mm-hmm.
and when I first made it and first tasted it, it's easily the best syrup I've ever made. And I don't think it's that groundbreaking, but I think texturally, there's brown sugar in yours too, right?
Yes, there is.
The combination of molasses and brown sugar,
Dark brown sugar too.
is just divine in cocktails.
I think what was it, Adam? It was a cup and a half of white sugar and then a half a cup of dark brown sugar.
Yeah, something like
Yep.
Yep.
And then just like it was like a teaspoon or two of molasses.
I think I used a tablespoon. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
our recipes are very similar. I'm not sure about proportions.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of churning and burning here, so I'm using like ground spices like ginger, ground ginger, fresh ginger, all day every day would be preferred. So kudos to you for doing that.
Well, I have half a brick of ginger left. If you need to make some syrup, it's in my freezer.
Might just have to.
Yeah, Troy's the one who taught me how to freeze my ginger.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
It kind of does, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I'm going drinker as well.
did you even drink yours?
Yeah, actually, I drank more than that in the first one. So.
You have you have 3 drinks over there, Matt.
One's a water. Yeah,
What happened to your?
it's right there.
I'm gonna risk getting sick on Christmas to drink that. That is unacceptable.
I'm told Troy to pour light.
No, I told him to pour heavy so I can drink it.
Yeah, sorry.
yeah. It's mine. Yeah.
Mixed signals, and
Oh, that's
you,
all right.
you get heavy.
I don't really get all right, but I do have. I think you rate a drinker. I'm assuming as well. I believe, if I
Yes.
recall. Okay. Well, we do a thing here, where I just have to ask you a few questions, rapid fire, get to know you a little bit better. Because in case you missed it, we didn't know Adam before we started. This is not like a person we met before. We met you through the podcast. This is literally our first time ever actually having a conversation. So,
Well, speak for yourselves, man.
Well, I mean,
me and
okay.
Adam text like every other day.
our social media manager Anthony Longano has taught you a lot, but Troy and I have not. And I think I just have a bunch of random questions that have no bearing on probably anything, but they're fun questions, and maybe we'll learn a little bit. So, if you're ready.
Sure.
All right. Tapas or pasta?
Tapas.
Wow.
Ask permission or beg forgiveness?
Beg forgiveness.
Toilet paper roll over or under?
Over.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Finally.
Unanimous. Love it.
What's the type of triangle with 2 equal sides called again? I don't know why this is part of this.
And isosceles.
I believe that's correct. What's your favorite carnival food?
Fried dough.
All right. Name a word that starts with the letter Q.
Q.
Absolutely. Climb a mountain or jump from a plane?
Climb a mountain.
If you were really hungry, would you eat a bug?
Sure.
How long can you hold your breath for?
Probably 20 seconds.
Let's try. Let's test it out.
Yeah.
No, I don't want your wife and kid to wake up to you dead with a bunch of liquor everywhere tomorrow, Adam. Anyway,
Have you ever seen a kangaroo in person?
Yes.
Fort Wayne Zoo, baby. And then lastly, when people stand for a standing ovation, are you usually one of the earlier people to stand or one of the later?
Earlier.
That's
I'm a theater guy, and
Adam-
actually my wife and I ran a theater for a while. So
Really?
Okay.
did you really?
yeah, we ran a community theater for a while, 5 years.
I just feel like you and your wife are like perfect people. I don't know why. I just feel like you have good hearts, good souls.
Hey, we try.
But Adam, pasta is not. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
Yeah, dude.
You're gonna come here in a few weeks, and like me and Troy, we're gonna cook you a fucking meal, and you want tapas, not pasta? Get the fuck out of here. You can fly to Texas, hang out with the Cowboys fans. Who's your football team, bud?
Uh-oh.
We got to get this out of the way.
No, the Jets.
That's fine. Acceptable.
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
acceptable answer.
I'm totally joking. The New York Giants, actually. My wife and I both like the Giants.
Are you kidding me?
No, in the Yankees. So
Whoa.
No, he's fucking with us, man. He's coming here. You're gonna try to kill us in our sleep, aren't you?
no.
Yeah.
All right,
No, we're both Yankees fans, both Giants fans.
Are you serious?
How did you not know he
Yeah.
was a Giants fan?
We've never talked about it before.
Well, I mean,
All
as far
we've
as it
talked
goes,
about is alcohol.
we don't watch a ton of football, but we're definitely Giants fans.
Okay. What about baseball? Are you more?
You said
of a,
Yankees.
No, I know, but are you more of a baseball fan than football?
Yes.
Me too. I'm a Yankees fan. Diehard.
The football's been growing on you, though, bud. That's kind of awesome, Adam. I had no idea.
Yeah. Much respect.
Me, you, and Troy are the same person from
Could be.
three different area codes. You know,
All right, to fix
Yeah.
that real quick.
that's all good. Well, yeah, man. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for conjuring up this delicious drink that we're gonna steal. I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean-
I'd be honored if you do.
Well, let's do something.
Okay.
If you were gonna change something, we got to at least try here. Like,
You know what I would have changed? As a cocktail intern, I would have made it. I made 2 of them at the same time and put them into a glass. That's what I would have changed. I would have
your
doubled
glass
the
is
proportions.
bigger.
I know. I would have made 2. That's what I would have changed. Because I could fit 2
Okay.
in this glass.
Maybe. How much ginger are you putting in your syrup?
I think there was probably not much, maybe 10 to 15 grams of it.
Okay.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah. I think it's just because I like ginger. I might up the ante on the quantity of ginger just for the spice.
Yeah. You're
Yeah,
kind
sure.
of a ginger spice
Yeah.
addict.
And I
which
say
is cool.
and I say that with my recipe not being extremely ginger forward myself, but I'm also thinking about trying to appease, a mass audience. So I don't like. I know some people are kind of intolerant to intense ginger flavor,
Absolutely.
but I'm not that person.
No.
I definitely would
I feel
love
like you
more.
could bite
Yeah.
out of it.
I do. So
Like an
I
apple.
do.
Like I garnish this gingerbread mule with candied, crystallized ginger.
Okay.
And I'm pretty convinced that more than 50% of people don't like it, and I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't. Just, that one part of me is just like, listen, you don't have to eat it. You drink the drink, and if you don't like the garnish, it's fine.
Just don't fucking eat it.
Yeah, just don't eat it. But like for those people I do see eating it, it's just like, yeah, you get it.
What's your old fashioned recipe?
It's pretty simple. It's usually do 2 dashes Ango, 2 dashes orange, 1/4 ounce of simple syrup, and then 2 ounces of bourbon.
What's your go-to bourbon?
Buffalo Trace for sure, or Elijah Craig, usually one or the other.
Is Buffalo Trace pretty readily available by you?
It's surprisingly has been lately. So
That's good.
What's
and
the
it's still
what's the price tag
nicely,
on it?
it's still only about $40 here.
Oh my god!
So yeah.
Bring a suitcase when you come here, man.
Holy crap.
$40.
Yeah.
So there's a couple stores. I was telling you this during break. There's a couple stores that like got bought out by a bigger chain, and the allocated stuff. Which, if any liquor store is telling you guys that Buffalo Trace is allocated, that's bullshit. They're like one of the highest output distilleries in America.
They actually, I heard today or yesterday, they're allocating Buffalo Trace now.
That's not true because you can go to Meijer or like a grocery store in Fort Wayne, and you can find a bottle of Buffalo Trace for $24.99 every day of the week, man. Like, it's $40 is first of all absurd.
Yeah.
Why are they allocating it?
Don't know.
We were just there. They added fucking 16 rick houses. Like,
Don't know.
they have 1 million bottles or
But-
1 million barrels aging. Like,
Good question.
Yeah, but they haven't caught up yet.
I don't know.
Is there anything, not to rush anybody, we're at 2 hours.
Oh, that's fine.
Is there anything you want all the viewers to know about you, or if you have Instagram you want to shout out, or anything of the like?
Yeah, I mean, you can check me out and all my weird recipes and stories and things at the Gentleman Raconteur, at the Gentleman Raconteur
I think you said it
on
wrong.
Instagram.
Adam,
Sorry.
Matt, say it right, please.
Raconteur.
Oh my.
Man, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
Greatly
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you guys. It's been awesome.
Yeah, man. Very much looking forward to having you here in person.
Yeah, appreciate your support.
Yeah, man. It's been awesome.
Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, head over to stinkersdrinkerthinker.com and submit some cocktail doc recipes. The true cocktail doctor is going to come to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and then me and Troy are going to wipe his ass, essentially.
We should just get rid of you two and get Raj and him on here. And
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Filming at my
create a
house,
real
too.
podcast.
Yeah, filming at my house, too.
I'll just be me.
If you guys haven't noticed on Instagram, if you're following along there, this is probably one of the last weeks of the 4 weeks of whiskey giveaways
Probably.
we're doing, with a whole month giveaway for a bottle of Weller 12. Old Saint Dick is on there with booze off the red-dicked reindeer, and he's giving away liquor, and he's coming down your chimney.
Oh boy.
So, on that note, Adam, we have a little tradition here, and
Yes, I'm aware.
I'm sure you are. He's
never heard an
75
episode.
episodes
Yeah, right?
worth.
Jesus.
You got to do it by yourself, but if you were right here, we would do it with you. But it's all you, man. So
That's fine.
yeah.
You want to count
Wait,
down?
Sure.
A 3, a 2, a 1.
Yodelay.